Can I ask you how much the rent is?
You can. It's $200 a month.
$200 a week?
$200 a month.
Oh, a month.
A month?
Was that a prerequisite? I mean, did you have that as a must-have when you were looking for a place? Were you actually, was it your goal to be somewhere where you had a top mountain view and you were next to the river, or is that something you were demanding when you came to Ecuador?
That's just a bonus that happened well.
Now, as you can see it, but it's a really hazy, cloudy, rainy day, and I absolutely love eternal spring. Hey there, everybody. First things first, I want to welcome all the new subscribers to the channel and talk about my life of luxury, because hold on a minute. I really do think that sometimes we try too hard to get luxury as a people, as expats, as those of us that go abroad to live a good life. When I think about this subject, there are so many things that are so clear to me. For example, we have been abroad 10 years, and by the way, we're still in our 3-bedroom, 2-bath, mostly furnished, high-rise apartment with the city views here, which I didn't even ask for, which is one of the points I'm going to make in this video. And it's $300 a month, right? All right. So when we first came to Ecuador, like 10 years ago, one of the things that happened is, and this seems to happen on a regular basis to us, it's like, because of the way we do things, we end up having quote-unquote luxury fall into our laps. In contrast to that, this apartment is one example, but in contrast to that, when we were in the past helping the expats find properties, you would see this particular type of person that they would come down here and they had their little requirements list, and one of them was, it has to have views. It has to be on the river, And the funny part about it is that we've had a 4-bedroom, 3-bath house, which was the first house we had when we came here, and it was $250. Now, had we come here like this example expats that I'm talking about and said, called up the real estate agent and said, hey, we want a house on the river. Okay, we never would have got a house on the river for $250. We never asked for a house on the river. Yeah, it was just 2 houses away from the river. Matter of fact, we have many videos sitting on the river and walking on the river because we lived right there, and our house was $250. And yet people would come down and pay multiples of that. And this video is not about price. My point here is that I didn't even care about being on the river, and we were on the river, okay? And it's funny because we had this bilingual Ecuadorian one time kind of ribbing me going, hey, you're on the river, eh? Good for you. And I'm like, huh? And same thing with this apartment right here, okay? People say they want luxury, right? And it's funny because people are really funny with this subject of luxury, and it's an attitude, okay? It has everything to do with the attitude. And I'm not saying that, that we weren't tempted by that attitude, before we went abroad. And a lot of that is encouraged by the Retire Abroad media and magazine online and offline. It's encouraged. And so I think that a lot of people get this attitude that I must have luxury. And yet, you know, each time, well, for example, even in the States, when we had the 3.5 acres, with the house on 3.5 acres on a dead end, walking distance to a lake, and a 40-foot pool. So it's not like we went out and said, yeah, gotta have luxury, let's go have this. Lots of people that went after that had to pay big bucks for that. But we have it here in the 3-bedroom, 2-bath furnished apartment for $300. So to me, you know, if I'm going abroad and I'm getting a 4-bedroom, 3-bath house with a yard, a small yard, for $250, you know, I mean, if I don't like the color, because South Americans have different colors, I did paint our bedroom my wife's favorite color. You know, I painted our bedroom my wife's favorite color. So to me, if you look at pictures of our house with the pool, the living room was painted my wife's favorite color. That was custom painted ourselves. Whether you paint it yourself or have somebody do it, though, is not the point. My point is that little things sometimes seem like luxury, and I think that when people demand luxury is when they get into trouble. That's my point. And case in point, we've spent quite a bit of time in Panama, and you take a look at Panama, and it's just mind-boggling in Panama. So we made some videos about Panama that shone the light on the verbiage that was used by retired media abroad and magazines of what a great, it was just a way to entice people's greed, knowing full well that they would be creating a bubble. The people, they just fell for it, hook, line, and sinker, you know, and nowadays the market's sitting there stagnant and you can't even get out of the real estate. And so what happens is that it seems to me, when I analyze how we do things and how we end up, we always seem to have, I mean, it's like we're these bumbling gringos that just accidentally stumble into all of these amazing places like this 3-bedroom, 2-bath, mostly furnished house with beautiful views, you know, the 4-bedroom house next to the river. We recently showcased an apartment that is brand spanking new, 3-bedroom, 2-bath in comparison, and it's like 1,500 square feet, somewhere in there. In comparison, you've got guys in Mexico pushing these apartments that are half the size, and they're 3 times as much, and they have 0 views. But people write in and say, oh, well, you don't have views, it's not luxury. Why, you know, you're really giving up luxury. You know, oh, you're giving up luxury. Oh my gosh, you're giving up luxury. To me, if you can get a, you know, the mentality here is the problem, okay? Because if I'm looking at a $1,500 square foot apartment for $220, and there's a, you know, something I don't want to look at, whether it's a wall or another house, there's a solution for that. You know, it's like I painted our bedroom my wife's favorite color. And my point is, little things like that can easily be changed. Here's another quick case in point. You know, you've heard of cookie cutter houses, right? And there were 2 cookie cutter houses right here in Ecuador that were the exact same size, the exact same floor plan, and the only difference in them was that one of them had like 9 slate tiles on the living room wall, okay? And the other one didn't. So in comparison, the one with the tiles wasn't as plain looking. And you know, and I'm all for aesthetics. I mean, I like aesthetics. I used to do collectibles in the States, so I have an eye for things that, and so does Angie. So I'm all for that, but I'm saying that the one with 9 tiles on the wall was $150 more per month, because the foreigners, the gringos, would just ooh and ah, oh, I want that one because of the aesthetics. And it's 9 tiles. I mean, at $2 each, it's like $18. I mean, $150 more a month in rent, that's like $1,800 in the first year. The second year, it's like almost $4,000 in the third year. Well, you know, on and on. So for you know, $18, you could just, and $20 worth of labor, you could just have 9 tiles put on the wall. You know, that's all I'm saying here. I think that. You know, my point is that people say, oh, you're giving up luxury, but really a 1,500 square foot brand spanking new apartment, and the only thing is that it doesn't have views, while in Mexico, they're pumping these apartments half the size for 3 times the money, no views either, and yet Americans are, you know, oohing and eyeing over these apartments. So there's a way to make things luxury. Luxury is in the mind of the beholder, just like beauty is in the mind of the beholder. And when you see this attitude that, oh, you're giving up so much, I don't see that. I see that I'm gaining a 1,500 square foot apartment for $220. Everything is brand new in it, you know. Granite countertops in the kitchen, nice big kitchen, very bright. All I would do is, if I don't like the view, is I would put those, I don't know what the name of it is, you would put that thing over the windows where you can't see in, but you can see out, and all of a sudden, presto, you know, so problem solution. So that's the way I see it. I guess I'm just really practical about things, and it could be why I don't go around asking for luxury, and yet I seem to get aesthetically pleasing, or at least practically pleasing, you know, like 4-bedroom, 3-bath house, walking distance to the river that I never asked for $250. I think that when people start demanding luxury, they get into trouble. I hope you understand what I'm saying here. I mean, I hope I was very clear on my point, is that when we demand something, and I see this in the social media too, you see this, you know, people that just are so demanding. Oh, you know, not everybody wants to pay $200-300, you know, some people want luxury. Well, you know, yeah, some people get luxury, some people want luxury, and some people just get luxury, you know. I had a friend that came to Ecuador back during the time when the bubble was full on, and there was just all these foreigners coming in with this attitude, this luxury thing. Everything has to be bigger, better, and more expensive. And well, when he got off the plane, some security guard insisted, wouldn't take no for an answer, on helping him so that he could, my friend asked me later, why did he do this, helping him take his baggage all the way to his home. And I told him he wanted to see what your house looked like, because the rumor and the word was that the foreigners lived in humongous, expensive, to the locals, you know, huge, expensive homes. And you saw that in places like Vilcabamba, and we've talked about what this kind of thing leads to. But when the security guard got to his apartment, because we helped our friends get a 1,500 square foot apartment, and this was the video we made, Gringo expat rents $200 apartment, and this is 10 years old. And so when the security guard got to their house and saw that they lived in an ordinary, quote-unquote, Ecuadorian apartment, there was nothing wrong with their apartment. It was a great apartment, beautiful, big, 1,500 square foot apartment for $200. To me, that's luxury. This is June 3rd, and it's Frugal Frank and family here in Ecuador, in Cuenca. And we're talking to a friend that has moved here, and here she is. Can I ask you how much the rent is?
You can. It's $200 a month.
$200 a week?
$200 a month.
Oh, a month.
A month.
Okay. Is that a typo or a wordo?
No.
How many bedrooms?
It's 3-bedroom and 2-bath.
Okay.
With this terrace, which, I mean, look at the view. I have a view of the mountains and the city, and the river is over there. I get to hear the water running, and it's just beautiful.
Amazing.
Was that a prerequisite? I mean, did you have that as a must-have when you were looking for a place? Were you actually, was it your goal to be somewhere where you had a top mountain view and you were next to the river, or is that something you were demanding when you came to Ecuador?
That's just a bonus that happened. Being on the third floor helps because you're above things and you have better views sometimes. But there are mountains everywhere. I mean, you can rent from just about anywhere, it seems, in Cuenca and get a mountain view.
Yeah, in fact, we in our house we have a mountain view out of our living room window. But like you say, you're on the third floor, so you're a little bit higher up, and so you've got a really, really nice view here. So you weren't actually, it wasn't one of your needs, it just happened. It just happened naturally that it wasn't really, just kind of fell into it. And for $200 on top of that.
Look what I get!
Yeah.
For $200, a 1,500 square foot apartment, and if you want to put some aesthetics on it, you certainly can. But I mean, some people just go over the top, and it's an attitude thing. And anyway, the security guard never came back. He acted like he wanted to be such a great friend, but when he saw that he was living in an Ecuadorian neighborhood, in a just Ecuadorian apartment, he never saw him again. So. All right, well, I hope I can inspire you to understand that the world of creation is full of luxury, and we don't have to make a special case for it, and we certainly don't have to pay top dollar